Right, hello everyone. Welcome to HRF1's round 3. I should be saying g'day, mates. We're in the land of Oz for round 3 of the HRF1 Formula 1 Championship. I'm currently, just in case you're wondering, I'm doing the worst ever Australian accent. Is what I was trying to do in a way. Um, in a way, regardless of that, we are at Australia, where we're doing short qualifying followed by full qualifying. Venom Hyper has left the session because he has absolutely nothing to do with this league. Join the person, Venom, who says they're opening a lobby, not put somebody else entirely. You weird person. Hey, Matex is back. Matex is back. Sorry, anyway, what was it? I completely forgot what I was saying. Yes, we're here for rank 3 of HRF1. I think we got 16 or 17. 16 at the moment. I'm not sure if there's any others joining throughout. Leonidas, who the game is actually on at the moment, is up there in P1 to start this session, is brand new as far as I'm aware, and I've got to say takes the award for coolest name on the track. For those that don't know, Leonidas is the name of the main cat in Thundercats. I don't think it's quite spelt like that, but it's still Leonidas. Anyway, forgetting that, Gaza's helping us out tonight. He's come in from, although his name says ARL, which is the league I used to run, which is now extinct, or jointly run, I should say. He's still got ARL there, but he's come in from ARC to help make some numbers up tonight. Let's get somebody on outlap. Lando, let's get some details up. Full track map. There we go. Obviously don't need tyres up, so is Lando the first one? No, there is a Ferrari ahead, so let's move to the Ferrari. So that's the Gooner. So, oh, Big Willie Fitz is. I didn't think we had any Big Willies on track tonight, but I've just noticed that he is. That's cool. I didn't see him in the lobby, so that's good. We always like to have a Big Willie on track. It's in a way. Just for anybody watching, by the way, I've nipped my phone onto charge for a little bit. It was a bit dead after my last comms, so I'm just giving it a little bit of a boost, so I can't see any comments right now, but I will grab it probably after qualifying, give it the qualifying session to charge up, and then I'll grab it and take a look through anything that's been said. Gives us something to do in the time in between after I grab my coffee. So then, the Gooner round 2 start a lap of Australia, a new look Australia for 2022 game. So we're a year late getting it from real life, but still, about everybody else's fault, so doesn't really make much difference to me, if I'm honest. The new layout, I don't think it's particularly better. I don't think it's worse. I'm not pretty easy going about it. So, good start by the Gooner, I feel. That seemed a pretty good first sector as he comes into the new part of the circuit. So, here we go then. So, this is the main part. So, usually you'd be out on that right-hand side as we look for a chicane there, but that has disappeared, and it's now effectively one long straight. Although, the slight curvage of the track does actually affect downforce a little bit, so don't gain as big an advantage as you would think by running a lower downforce through that sector, so it's advisable not to set up for that. Let's just say that. And I was nattering away while he went through the next corner that it changed a bit, but into the final corner he comes then. Red Bull's just about out of the way. In fact, he get a nice toe over the line just to help with the time, and he gets us kicked off with 1:19.1 for now. Gooner. Confident he's got a bit more in him than that. Let's go to Lando then. Oh no, Lando invalidated, so it's one of the Haas boys next. It's Big Willie. So here he is, out of the penultimate corner into the final corner. Still a bit dodgy, the final corner on the old traction, so you've still got to be a bit careful. And he crosses the line to a 120.3, goes P2 for the moment. Got an Alpha Tauri is into the pits, so I had invalidated in a way. There's an Alfa Romeo. If I can ever... Oh, the Alfa Romeo spun it round. I'm glad to say that's Tempest, because I brought Gaza in for tonight, so I wouldn't like his first contribution to be spinning. He's on an outlap in a way, so I think he'd probably just still start the lap in a way. A few times coming over the line then, WBUI, or Whoopi as I've been calling him recently, goes 19.5. Junkie Emperor 19.9. It's underway. Tempest has started his lap. Karting King just on the way through the final corner now. I reckon he starts. It's 19.2, puts in P2 for the moment. These times a little bit lower than I expected, so I'm expecting pole to be a low 18 if I'm honest. May even nick a high 17, but we'll wait and see. It is a short qualifying session, as I say, so 19.1 from Lando goes P1 for the moment. Small loss is invalidated, and I would imagine that all these guys will be mostly coming back into the pits. Tempest is the furthest round, so let's go to Tempest. We know he's on a hot lap, as is his teammate for the night, ARL Gaza. Through the S. Not really changed the S at all. I think it's a bit easier in this year's game, but this is the other part of the track that it changed that I just missed earlier on. This corner has been made a lot more... Oh, his Tempest clearly backside of that one. So Gaza's coming down towards the same corner again now. So, yeah, this corner's been made a lot more acute, if you like. I think that's the only way I can describe it, really. So as before, you could attack the curb. It's not really advisable to do that right now. If you do it too much, you will pick up some damage. We saw a discarded tyre there, and I believe that was the tyre of one of the Mercs. I think it's Lewis Jones, who is out. Gaza then, 19.3, goes into P4 for the moment. I'm still expecting a low 18 for pole, and that smallest round into the barrier. I think he's gotten away with it. He's going to be able to recover to the pits. We'll be careful when you're spinning around like that. Oh, there's a car coming around. Just be careful. There we go then. Small loss, well done. Recovered it nicely, and he make his way back to the pits. So, Gaza obviously not going again. A few drivers on out laps, struggling for people on hot laps. Oh, Fatal Fans on a hot lap. Here we go. Tempest might be as well, as you see that discarded tyre again. So Fatal through the final corner. Where can he put the Haas? Teammate currently P8. Just ahead of him. It's a 1:21.4. He stays P9, but improves the time by half a second. So just go to Tempest. He's invalidated, so this time he's into the bits. So let's move up. We know Gaza's already finished his lap. Fatal's finished his. What about Pete? So we've got no sector times from Pete. Yeah, he's not got a lap on the board, so can't sort of tell what speed he's going. But take a look at his sector 2 time. It's a 45.5. That's reasonable. So I think he's doing pretty well. And it all looks nice and tidy, but if we keep that 45.5 in mind, when Pete finishes his lap, should give us an idea of how well other people are doing when they come through that second sector. So, in the final corner, quite late getting on the power really, but still crosses the line to a 19.3. That puts him P5 for the moment. So let's go to the boss man, Hunter. He's also coming around the final corner. Oh, and as I mentioned earlier, the traction out of there is still a bit dodgy. He resets it to track. Really supposed to do that, but I think he was taking into account that the cars coming around and he was stuck in the middle. So there we go. Puts the time on the board for him of a 27.1. Here's JC. He goes fastest on an 18.4. currently 7/10 of a second faster than Lando. And, oh, that's a Mercedes that's rang there. Not entirely sure who that was. I still think these guys have got more in their laps, but I also know that JC has TT time is a 17.1, so probably has a lot more. Don't know if what sensor might be going again. But no, he can't be, not on that set to 1 time. So it's not one to watch there. Let's go to the Gooner. No, it's invalidated. Oh yeah, isn't my apologies. It's Carson King who's invalidated. So the Gooner, that's the start of his lap. Again, the right hander is a bit wide through there. Nicely stays on the power through there. Into this, as you see, taking it in 6th gear. You'll see some take it in 6th, you'll see some take it in 5th, that corner. There's no real advantage either way, but so the only thing with 6th is it gives you a bit more better traction on the exit, particularly as your tyres begin to wear a bit, would help. Oh dear, okay. Gazza's been given a penalty for that. Gazza was on an outlap, I'm not entirely sure what he's playing with. And I just want to take this moment to assure the boss man in that Gazza does not usually make mistakes like that. If it even was his mistake, the contact actually happened at shot, so just saw some carbon fibre go flying. But obviously, the Gooner is not really pleased about it. Big Willie Fitz retires from the session. Oh, he's crashed out of the S. So, looks like Tempest is just going up to roll. So in fact, let's go to Tempest. Oh no, he's invalidated. Let's not go to Tempest. So, you would have seen just in the background there, that's where Big Willie Fitz was. Smallest only just started a lap. The Gaza then, so is it Gaza or was Leonidas further round? Well, he's invalidated now, Leonidas, so let's go to Gaza then, who is almost quarter of a second up. Remember, has the grid penalty, so won't be starting where he qualifies, but still obviously want to qualify as high as he can so that penalty has smaller effects on him. Oh, he's just invalidated. I was just about to say he could be the first or second guy into the 118s, but just invalidates. A little bit too much curb on the exit. But, small loss just crossing the line. So it's a 121.4 from small loss who goes P12. Again, we've got lots of people on outlaps at the moment. Nobody actually on a hot lap. So let's find out who's going to be first to cross the line. I believe it's going to be Karting King, so let's run with Karting King. The Gooner, incidentally, already been into the pits, repaired any damage and back out again. So, I think as long as because he was improving, so as long as he can improve again, I don't think he'd be too upset about it. If he doesn't manage to improve anymore, then he might be a bit upset, but as has obviously received the punishment for it. Turns to a grid penalty, but hey, if that's the worst thing that happens today, it's going to be a good race. So, Karting King then heading down onto this new section of track, which leads up to the N2. Just see where he is. 45.3, which is a couple of attempts quicker than we saw Pete go earlier on. So that does actually mean that he is improving slightly here at Karting King. Hopefully he can take that improvement. Well, if he could take the improvement into the final sector as well, he could go into the 118s, which would put him up to P2. So across the line then, and it is a 118.7, so into P2 goes Karting King. Lando, unfortunately, is invalidated in sector 1 of his lap. The Gooner nearly 3 tenths up in the first sector, so on a big improvement at the moment. So, unfortunately, I was looking away and just missed his sector 2 times, so I'm not too sure if he continued that improvement or not. Stewards have done a terrible job removing the wreckage from Lewis Jones' car. One of his tyres is still out there. So JC crosses the line on a 1:17.8. Gooner crosses 1:18.6, puts in P2 just ahead of Carton King. Gooner and Carton King are showing this season that they could end up having a season-long battle. Lando, as we mentioned earlier, is invalidated. Let's go to Leonidas then. Improving in sector 1. He's running through sector 2. Has lost a little bit of time, but still remains a 10th up on his PB. That 10th would actually see him go ahead of Pete and would be very close to Gaza. So opens up the DRS, heads for the line. Oh wow, massive improvement in the end. So 1:18.5 goes P2, Leonidas, best Thundercat, and so far the second best driver. Small loss retires from the session, and I believe that is just at the end of sector 1. There's a Lando and Gaza. Let's just nip to Lando because he's just ahead of on track. So it's heading towards the final corner. Here he comes. PB currently a 1:19.1. He's heading for the line. It's going to be an improvement. 1:18.4 goes P2. Gaza improves. And he's P6 on a 1:18.9. So now the top 6 drivers are in the 1:18s. Sorry. My apologies, second to Siph is in the 1:18s, 1:17 for JC. Pete then looking to improve. I'm not 100% sure, but I think the car ahead of us on track is on an outlap, so... Oh, they're into the pit, so it's in lap in fact. Pete then opens up the DRS, heads for the line. PB 1:19.3 improves, also into the 1:18s, 1:18.7. That time from Pete. Junkie Emperor, who has been incredibly impressive in the first 2 races. What can he manage? Currently sits on a 1:19.7 on PB. Qualifying a big part of Australia, of course. You want to be as high as you can. Well, you always want to be as high as you can, but it's a street track, street circuit, so it's important to be up the grid if you can be. Down towards the line, he heads again. It's not an improvement, unfortunately. Misses his PB by a 10.5. JC retires out of the session in the pits, so happy with what he's managed. Gooner, unfortunately, is invalidated. Anybody else? Lando, no. Gooner into the pits. Pete's, no. Just double check. Pete. No, there's no way he's improving there. Whoopi is 1.5 tenths down. Bit surprising, actually, from Whoopi. I would have expected him to be one of the ones guaranteed for a 1:18. So unless there was some sort of huge mistake in sector 3, it's not looking like he's going to reach that. Oh, that's a huge mistake in sector 3. And the Mercs, well, Mercedes are going to have a huge job on their hands to get both cars out in time for the race. Junkie Emperor also being followed by a McLaren. So this is Junkie Emperor. Will he be going trying to finish the lap? Oh, he's run very wide on the penultimate corner, and that's going to obviously have an effect. PB's 1:19.7. I don't think he's going to make it. Oh, he does. Improves by nearly a tenth, which puts him up to P9. So a slight improvement, but obviously that would have been a lot better if he didn't run wide on the penultimate corner. That ends qualifying, so I'll just confirm. So Alpine take pole position with JC, Lando P2, Leonidas P3, Daguna P4, Carton P5, Pete 6, Gaza 7, Whoopi in 8, Junkie Emperor 9, Fatal Defiance in 10, Big Willie in 11, Small Loss 12, Hunter P13, Tempest 14, and no time on the board for Lewis Jones or Derek Gill, who will start 15th and 16th. Obviously, free tire choice. We'll check that at the start of the race. But having said that, of course, we do have grid penalties. So Gaza has a grid penalty, so we'll actually start P12, moving those drivers in between up one. And there was another grid penalty further down, but I didn't quite see who it was. So, yeah. Okay, guys, so I'm just going to grab another coffee, and then I'll be back for the race, and we'll take a quick look at any messages in chat as well. Alright, see you in a bit. Right then, I'm back. Evening, Mr. Whale. You're the boss man. I'm not the boss man, you're the boss man. Matex, you're doing it again. You're an absolute legend. I will say it every single time you do that because you're just incredible. Thank you so much. Let's just have a look. Just like that. Matex says he loves the rain setups. That was at the start of the race, referring to previous race in WRL. It looked like the same was happening to you, mate. That happened to me the previous night at Spain. I just had by using a full wet setup, I had absolutely zero straight line speed, and I was got overtaken at one point by someone who was literally started on the straight at Spain 1.2 seconds behind me, and they caught me and overtook me into turn one. It was just horrendous. But, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to revisit my wet setups. And the difference is that I was using a wet setup in the wet, and I was still that slow. So it's yeah, definitely gonna have to take a look at the setups again in the wet. think about it, I suppose straight line speed's going to be important in the wet because of no DRS, so kind of makes sense to go that way actually. But in a way, the countdown has begun. We are just gearing up for the formation lap. What I'm really hoping is going to be a really good race. The first race of the season was absolutely outstanding in in HRF1. I get confused. I do too many leagues now, I think. I get confused between the names. But yeah, it's, first race of the season in this league was absolutely outstanding. The second not so great, but wasn't particularly bad either. I think Australia, the first track we're really visiting with that sort of challenge where on 21 it was a safety car laden track on the 21 game, wasn't it? So it's let's hope it's not like that tonight. Let's have a quick gander at the tyres then. So top 4 start in mediums, Karting King on hards. The mediums for Pete and Whoopi, who have both been disqualified at the start of this. Hards for Junkie, Emperor and Fatal Defiance. Mediums for Big Willie. Hards then for Gaza, Tempest and Derek. Everybody else on the mediums. So we just change that then to position changes. But, I know I say it every race, but it just helps me a little bit at the start to notice if any instance occurs, somebody suddenly drops down. So predicted stop strategy then, medium to hard. Obviously if they're starting on the hards, it'll be hard to medium. Predicted stop around lap 13, well lap 13 to 17 it said, so I don't think it's that far wrong on that, to be honest. Sounds about right. Lap 13, 14. The only thing that can happen is people looking for the overcut might try and push tyres a little bit further. JC, I forgot to do my little prediction of how many people have missed the grid slots. JC misses it, Karting King misses it. Any more? For any more? Lewis misses it. Hunter misses it. Derek and Small Loss, can they manage it? Yes, they do. Well done. I haven't got one right yet on the grid slots. Look at this. Look. Right, let's go up a bit. Need to see the lights. They are out. We're on board with the Gooner. He flies off the line compared to the driver next to him. Karting King really bogs down. And there we go. Now we got a better view. There's something going on at the back. Lewis Jones is having a really hard time turning his car around. That's it, turn the wheels. Works better. There we go. Okay, well, he'll get going now. He was also down at the back anyway, Lewis, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him. Really close racing at the start, as you can see. But Whoopi, the big gainer, up 4 places, and Big Willie Fitz. It seems to be the same people starting well every time. Although the Gooner absolutely flew off the line, gained the place over Karting King, he then lost one to Whoopi. It does seem to me that Whoopi and Big Willie Fitz have really nailed the start sequence here on 22, and something else I'm really struggling with, so I could do with learning. As you can see at the moment, the racing exceptionally close. Other good gainers off the start. Hunter was up 3 places, Small Loss is up 3 places. Lewis Jones hopefully won't give up. Oh, Fatal. What's happened to Fatal? I don't actually know what's happened to him, but suddenly lost a few places there, so I can only assume had some sort of little spin or something. And drops down to 15th. Hopefully nobody will give up around here. Lewis obviously coming around towards the pits now. I can't imagine he would give up on a track like this unless he's got severe rear wing damage, which is completely undrivable on 22, so understandable. But look at this battle. Whoopi on the back of Lando, looking for a way for... He wants to get through so that he can take a fight to JC, because I think he knows that JC is going to disappear in the distance. I mean, it's difficult to get through anyway at Australia, but when DRS isn't active yet, it makes it even harder. And the other thing, of course, they created this long, effectively long straight. What happened then? Did Lando just go off? He has. He just seemed to go straight on and not take the corner. Not entirely sure what's happened there. Lewis Jones leaves the session, but he hasn't retired, he's just left, so not sure what's happened there. I'll invite him to the game. Hopefully you get back. So then, Whoopi gains the place. I thought he'd got a load of oversteer then, but I think he just sharply moved over there to open up the entrance to the next corner. So unfortunately, Lando then in the McLaren after that incident just seemed to drive straight on, didn't he, off track? Maybe took his eye off trying to defend from Whoopi. Perhaps that was the amount of pressure that Whoopi was putting on him. Karting King, meanwhile, down to 14th. He's had an incident there as well. Oh, he's lost his front wing. That was at the... Well, in the middle sector, I think that was out of the fast right-hander. Maybe lost it into the wall. But, oh, look at this. Pete has gotten ahead of Whoopi. The DRS section. Some good start to the race from Pete. And JC will be saying to himself, I'm quite happy with this. I've already built up 3.6 seconds. The next three guys behind are all in a row fighting each other. So I'll just keep disappearing. I don't mind. Perfectly going to slow each other down fighting, so if it remains like this and they remain this close, these three, it's going to be really interesting when it comes to pit stops. I think everybody has worked out by now that the overcut is much stronger than the undercut on this game as it stands right now, so it'll be a case of who's going to hang the tyres out the longest. I think Gaza makes up a place over Leonidas. Leonidas fighting back. Gaza holds it round the outside and takes that position very well. Up into P8 now. Up 3 places. After that 5-place grid penalty, of course. Karting King has managed to get back round to the pits. Just going to check Lewis Jones. No, he's just left the session, left his AR now. I've invited him back. He's not rejoined, so clearly just can't be bothered. Can't be bothered just to drive his car into the pits and retire if he's not happy. Not exactly difficult to do, is it? And a bit poor, if I'm honest. So riding now then with Hunter, who is hunting down Chunky Emperor. It's the Gooner. Sorry guys, I missed that one. The Gooner gets ahead of Whoopi for P3. Well, is Hunter going to be able to make a move? Doesn't look like it. The Gooner managed to stay ahead into turn 1. Another opportunity up to the hairpin. DRS opens again, and no, still can't get alongside. Maybe the Gooner running a slightly lower aero package, which is allowing him to stay ahead on the straights, but it means he's holding people up in the corners. Sorry, did I say the Gooner now? I meant Junkie. So, it's causing a train at the moment. 6th, Junkie Emperor at the front of the train. Then Hunter, Gaza, and Leonidas just stuck behind at the moment. Lando picks up a penalty just to rub salt in the wound. I mean, those guys down at the back, so Karting King, Lando, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So Curtin King and Lando would just basically be saying to themselves that they're hoping for a safety car now. There's not. They know it's Australia, and they know there's going to be a high chance of a safety car at some point in this race. So as Leonidas might get close enough on Gaza. Still really close. Oh, Hunter moves to the inside. At turn 1. They avoid contact side by side. They come back out. Hunter will get DRS again. And that's going to give him the place. Gaza's having a look as well. Looking if he can take advantage. Oh, they were 3 wide there for a second. That was never good. I think Leonidas maybe being a little bit optimistic, but he has actually ended up as the lead car of the 3. If you have a sector 1 yellow, is it Fatal Defiance, I think. It's been round there. Fortunately. Well, it might not have been that he'd been round. I think, actually, looking at it, Lewis Jones' car is down there, so I wonder if they were just out lapping and the yellow flag was for him getting out of the way or something like that. But certainly not good at the moment from Lewis Jones having just left the session. I invited him back, he's not rejoined, just left his car on the track. Not ideal. As Whoopi then looks with DRS on the Gooner. Again, that Ferrari just too fast in a straight line. Since the other 3 had a battle, Leonidas has caught the back of Hunter. And he had actually worked out a second gap to Gaza, but now he's caught the back of Hunter. Gaza's going to get into that 1 second again. There's yellow flags popping up all over the place. But I can't actually see any stopped cars, so I don't know if they are actually incidents or just somebody running slightly off track, to be quite honest. Can't see anything. It's down on part of the track where it's small loss running just in front of Derek, and then Fatal Defiance, and then Tempest. So Leonidas hangs it round the outside of Hunter. That was daring. Got to give him that. That was daring. That takes a very willing opponent there in Hunter. Oh, and look, he's lost it. Leonidas. Very aggressive, making up the places on track. But in the end, it's meant he's lost it on traction. Had a new right-hander. Man, I'd imagine that'll be straight into the pits and a set of hard tyres on to go to the end. As he started on the mediums. The only bonus is that he can do that swap of tyres, so it's not going to completely ruin his race or anything. As we go then to Whoopi and Daguna. Whoopi has got past for P3. And Leonidas, as mentioned, is into the pits. So Daguna trying to keep up with Whoopi at the moment. Looks like he's able to. Both still got very good amounts of energy left, so they're not been using too much of their energy. Just meanwhile, a lot of laps later, JC now has only pulled out another 4 attempts. Oh, we've lost Tempest. We've lost one. And that's going to be a full safety car. Well, we said that it was likely to be safety cars. I'm trying to find where he is on track. Is this him? Yeah, there he is, just on the left-hand side there. Tempest into the wall. I think he said in Discord actually he'd had a few drinks today, so maybe that explains that one. Sorry, Tempest, I don't mean that in pain. Lando's... Well, we know Lewis is going to be in his safety car, so I don't know if Lando's actually lost connection or whether he's just nipped into AI because of the safety car. So, Pitters then, in comes Big Willie Fitz, in comes Hunter. Both of them exit. Well, Wow, okay, so just go to tyres a second. Well, can I just give a shout out to JC as Pity, come out in P2 on fresh hards. 100% the right thing to do. I'm not really sure why Pete stayed out. The guys that started on hards, yeah, fair enough, they can stay out and maybe hope for another safety car later on. But other than that, Whoopi, the Gooner, Big Wave Fitz, Hunter are now looking in a great position, having pitted under this safety car. If there were to be no more safety cars, then they are on for great results, all being well. But I'm afraid regarding Pete, I honestly don't know why he stayed out on medium tyres. Bear in mind, this safety car probably ain't going to come in until lap 11, which means 12. That means 18 laps remaining, presumably. If you're starting back on lap 12, you only had 2 or 3 more laps to do until you were going to come in anyway. So, yeah, we'll see. You never know. It might pay off for him. You might end up getting another one straight away. You just don't know. But I think, really, guys there that have jumped in for fresh tyres that have taken to the end have done the correct thing. As I say, you can understand hard starters staying out because they can't. A set of mediums isn't really going to take them to the end from here. Technically, they could probably hold out without exploding, but they ain't going to be quick. So you can understand that they might want to just give it a go to see if there's another safety car, or if they can widen the gap out a little bit to the sort of ones running a bit further down, what have you. Just looking who waiting for. Lando's still got. I'm just going to send Lando an invite just in case we've lost him. He's saying he was last seen 4 hours ago, apparently. Just saying he might not be offline, but just in case. So. If he was last seen 4 hours ago, he's done very well to enter into this race. That's what we said. The way Lando earlier on sort of just seemed to drive straight on the corner, I wonder if he'd lost power. I don't know if he's a pad or a wheel player, but I know with pads sometimes, if it turns off... well, if it turns off right in front of the corner and fails you, you've had it, because it takes just a moment, a second or so, just for the AI to take back over, and you end up just into a wall, unfortunately. As I said, he might just be in AI, so he could nip off to the loot, something like that in the safety car. I'm sure we've all had to do that at some point. Hopefully that's the case. But that's everyone caught up then. So, as predicted, safety car will come in end of lap 11. We'll start again on lap 12 with 18 laps remaining. So so we're really sort of, well, we're getting close to the halfway point of the race. We're summation of the first half of the race. It's been a very good race. Well, sorry, Junkie, I didn't not send you an invite. I just didn't see that you left us, so otherwise I would have done. You're back in now anyway, just in time. It's good. Yeah, so summation of the first half of the race as it's gone so far. I think it's actually been a very good race. That small loss had a little moment there out of the S's. Be able to catch back up. I'm just looking, no obvious damage, so no real harm done there for small loss. As we get ready to go again, this time with Pete leading. JC will be trying to guess when he's going to go. Oh, no, that's silly, guys. And I'm afraid, JC, that is completely on you, that one. Completely 100% on you. Pete's retired from the race on that. Sometimes I can understand people retiring like that, but that must have been infuriating. That is going to be a big penalty for JC, I'm afraid. Assuming Pete reports that. Oh, 3 into 1 corner is never a good idea, guys. On this occasion, though, Big Willie Fitz comes out better for it and takes P4. Whoopi hangs it around the outside of Fitz and retakes P4. Keep going, Big Willie. That's a great start in this race. There's battles going on throughout. Look at this. This is Hunter having a go at Fatal Defiance. Hunter. Oh, it's a tight old corner, this one now. But it looks like Hunter's got that job done. Oh no, look at Fatal Defiance around the outside. Brilliant, brilliant driving. There's a battle going on behind this as well between Carton King and Leonidas. In the end, Fatal Defiance defies Vox Hunter to hold on to that position. Gratefully, Lewis Jones AI sticks it in the pits and gets out of the way. Just going to have a quick eye on the chat just in case Pete comes in. Yeah, I'm afraid. Well, no, I won't say anything more. I've said my piece on it. It's set to 1 yellow. Looks like small loss. Is it? Yeah, it was small loss, but he's up and running again. And again, I think he's got all the parts intact. So just get underway again. Carton King has gotten ahead. Well, I think the Red Bulls have swapped positions. I think Hunter's sort of said to Carton King, you have a go. And this time Hunter's defending from Leonidas instead. And it looks like that tactic has worked as Carton King makes up the move. I think Fox Hunter might have hit the back there of Fatal Defiance. He's dropped behind Leonidas. He's also dropped behind Derek. Is he about to jump into the pits? No. No, and I can see both end plates there, so I think it's just a contact, but I don't think there's any damage. So okay there. Let's just drop down to Lando. Oh, look at this, 2 ghosted cars. This is good, isn't it? What is going on, guys? Junkie Emperor, I saw you join back. They're literally inside each other at the moment. So Lando and Junkie having their own sort of good time here. Oh, did you see that? That was small loss. And this time small loss doesn't have the luck. And I think that's going to be a safety car. Oh, I think we might be getting away with a virtual though. I can't see a safety car coming out of the pits. So I think at the moment... Why has Junkie left the session? What? Oh, good God. Well, obviously the 2 boss men are in this race fighting for points, so Big Willie Fitz and Fox Hunter the boss man. They'll need to take a look at this on. Take a look at this one back, I think. Just see some of this, because people in AI, there's people retiring for no reason. There's, I mean, Lewis Jones, for whatever reason, has just left and not bother coming back right at the start of the race. Gaz is into the pits then. He puts on, that look like softs. No, it's mediums. Puts on mediums. Makes much more sense. You go to the end. Martin King surely will be pitting. Well, no, it's a, remember, we're racing again now. It's a virtual safety car, so VSC, so we're back underway. So Gaza just took the opportunity to pit while there was some sort of safety car, because if there wasn't another one at a later point, it would have been a disaster for him. So taking that opportunity as Leonidas gets past Fatal Defiance on the long straight towards the S. And unfortunate for Smolos there, and it's had a few little spins and sort of kept getting away with it, but that one unfortunately was into the barrier and terminal damage, as JC sticks in the fastest lap of the race so far, a 1:22.7 on the hard tyres. Might be beaten later on if somebody has the gap to stick on some softs and go for the fastest lap. This is Lando. Well, that's like, there's no point in watching them. It's Lando and Junkie. I'll do it again. I'll send them one more invite. But as you can see, Gaz has caught them. He's just going to go through them. But, I'd say it's going to be something for the boss man to look at later on. I don't know why. I mean, if they were lagging about all over the place when they were actually there, then I'd suggest that they were probably just having some internet issues, but they weren't, so not sure. This is Hunter anyway, second Red Bull, to get past the Haas of Fatal Defiance, moves to the inside, decides he's not far close enough alongside, so backs out of that one. Next opportunity really will be down at turn 1. Thank goodness for this battle though, because the rest of the field's just opened up a bit. Hunter just not getting the joy out of the DRS, is he? Fatal has saved his energy, so... Oh, hang on, look at this one. Now, Hunter quickly opened up his energy there. Quickly got the power advantage and gets the move done into the hairpin. Nicely done. That time from Vox Hunter, and nicely raced by Fatal Defiance, left plenty of room. I think Fatal understanding he's on 16 lap old hard tyres, hasn't pitted yet, so not putting up, he's just basically taking his car around the track. He's not really sort of moving to defend as such, so he understands the situation. So let's stop him having a little look back. I think the idea was that he was going to have a go out of it here down to this turn, but didn't quite take the S as successfully as Hunter on that occasion, so not able to do that. Just look at keeping an eye on other battles. Carton King has caught the back of Big Willie Fitz, or Big Willie Fitz has gotten past him actually, I think. As Carton King is falling down the order, something's happened. Oh, it's out the final turn. He's dropped it. He is solidified, he hasn't gone anywhere. It's just ghosts when you're returning to track is all. And we've got to set to 1 yellow now. And that's a Haas. It's Fatal. Oh, it's Fatal Defiance. So well. Turns the car around. See, when you see little bits like that, that is a good reason to have ghosting on. A lot of leagues don't like it, and others do. I personally am a fan of having it off, but I can see the advantages to having it on as well, and because we literally just saw it then. Problem with me, well, the problem for me is I drive in leagues that have it on, I drive in leagues that have it off, and I can never remember which league does what, and I just have an instant, like, if somebody crashes, I just have to go round them. I can't go straight at them, even if they are ghosting. It's just, I can't do it. This is Derek catching the back of the AI of Lando. Derek then up to P8 as Fatal Defiance does make his way into the pits now, gets a new front wing, sticks a set of mediums to take him to the end. Carden King has done the same but gone to softs. So that's that one. Just looking towards the top for a moment. At the moment, JC is disappearing 5 seconds ahead of the Gooner, but the Gooner almost a couple of seconds up on Whoopi. These three are looking set to be the free podium sitters. The only thing being that with JC, I am 100% sure he's got a penalty coming his way when everything gets looked at, but as to what size of penalty, I don't know. So we'll just have to wait and see. Carton King already caught the back of Jumping Emperor, who we know is in AI, so it's not even a real battle. So I would suggest that Junkie, Emperor and Lando are probably going to be, well, not probably, surely definitely going to be removed from any stand-ins. So hopefully Fatal's aware of that, because that would actually means he's running in P10 now. I mean, I don't know what others' take on it is, but for me, if people have left the session because they're unhappy with something that's happened, for me personally, I think that is exactly what Lewis Jones has done. I really don't know about the other two. I've seen Junkie join and leave again, so I think he may be having issues. I don't know about Lando, but you know, the honest truth of the matter is, if you're leaving a session just because an incident has occurred, this game ain't for you, and league racing definitely isn't for you. So I'm just going to say that and put it out there. Incidents happen. You don't see drivers in real life having a little incident and just say, oh well, sod it, then I'll just stick the autopilot on, start letting the car drive itself, and I'll get out, I'll pit, get out, and stick it on autopilot. I don't know what I'm talking about now. I'm talking absolute rubbish. Sorry. There we have it. I'm afraid we are at a point in the race that we literally have no battles going on. I'm on Carton King because he's on softs and is quickly catching the back of Derek. As you can see, there's Derek. So this is going to develop into a battle. But other than that, it's really, so, despite the fact we had that safety car, it's really opened up the gaps. So, unfortunately, the race is just a little bit slow for us at the moment, but here's Carton King anyway. He's within the second now of Derek Gill. I think with a tyre advantage, it's probably going to be the easiest overtake of the day. As Hunter comes into the pits, he opts to have a run on a set of softs to the end. And just looking at where he is, he's going to come out ahead of these guys, so I think the only place he lost there was to Gaza, and Gaza's reserving, so it's not a massive difference. Karting King then gets ahead of Derek into P8, so that's the two Red Bulls running P7 and P8, both on soft tyres. I'd say they've consolidated those positions very nicely. The only thing they could be looking at is Gaza's got a penalty. Let's just have a quick look at it. It's a bit early for me to look at penalties, but I'm going to do it anyway. The Gooner's got 3 seconds, so Whoopi's within that. And it's genuinely quite possible that the Gooner and Whoopi are fighting for the race win here. Because, as I said, GC almost certain to be getting a pretty hefty penalty, I believe. So we'll see. But so yeah, that could be pivotal. Big Willie currently on 3 seconds. Gaz is on 3 seconds. So that's what Hunter and Karting King would be looking at. He's got 3-second penalty. Can we use these softs to catch up? It's a big gap, over 14 seconds. Obviously, I both drive with Gaza and I commentate on other races he does, and he's no slouch, let's put it that way. And I think poor old Derek's had a little moment there. Added a final corner. Let's just see if he's got any damage. Yeah, I think he's lost his right end plate on the front wing. He has indeed. Maybe able to continue with that. Maybe doesn't need to pit. It does mean that Fatal Defiance is within the 6 seconds penalty that Derek has. So actually, truthfully, Derek may as well pit, because he may as well pit for a set of softs, because the two behind Fatal have been in AI the whole race. So, sorry, the 3 behind Fatal have been in AI the whole race, so they're not going to be classified in a way. So Derek may as well come in and stick a set of softs on. Might be to do the fastest lap, perhaps. The fastest lap at the moment is not fast. Going to set of softs laid on will give you a real chance. I think it's still in the 121s. I haven't seen quicker than that come up, unless I just missed it. But yeah, otherwise, guys, we are struggling a bit here for battles. This is technically a battle because Gooner's got the Gooner's got 3 seconds. Will be 3.6 seconds behind and penalty free. So that gap theoretically is only 6 tenths. Also, Big Willie Fitz with 3 seconds. Leonidas 2.5 seconds behind. So they would be swapping positions as it stands right now. Hunter is getting that gap down to Gaza now. It's dropped a little bit. Also needs to get those tyres up to temperature. As Derek drops a place there to Lando. Where is Derek? Is he in the pits? Is that him in the pits? He's not showing us in the pits on my screen, but I think he is. So I think that's why he just lost those places. He's gotten out actually just ahead of the Gooner. I think unfortunately he has dropped a lap down now. I think JC just got through and lapped him as he was coming out the pits. So it just makes it a bit difficult now for Derek. He's on fresh, well, I presume fresh soft tyres. I don't see why he'd go for anything else. Yeah, he is. So makes it a bit difficult. If he goes for fastest lap, as far as I'm concerned, he is in the top 10, because, as I say, the others are been in AI the whole way through, so I'd assume they'd be removed from the standings. So he's definitely got a chance to go for fastest lap. Karting King is pitting again. He's going to try and take the fastest lap by the looks of things. It's going to be close on pit exit, I would say. He's just getting up to speed now. Fatal Defiance on his way down. It's really tight, but Carson King will stay ahead, but Fatal Defiance, of course, doesn't need to warm his tyres up and will take the position. And gotta assume that that's only for a small period of time. But Fatal Defiance is penalty free, so it is absolutely within his interests here to try and fight this overtake. So let's just move it back 2 penalties. So Carton King sat on 3 seconds. So, you know, if Carton King gets past Fatal, or when he gets past, he's just going to disappear ahead. So Fatal really needs to hold him up as much as he can. There's 3 laps remaining after this one. It's a tall ask on a worn medium tyres, I think Fatal's on, because he started on hards. If it is, then Carton King, because if he gets stuck behind Fatal here, he's not going to have a chance to go for the fastest lap, so he's just basically thrown away a couple of points. Not a couple, sorry, to use the ARC scoring system, so it's actually, well, it might be a couple of points actually thinking about it, but I can work that out. 20 for 25, 22, 20, 18. So Carton King gets past Fatal Defiance, so he's now on for 16 points. Yeah, it was 2 points because Fatal Defiance is on for 14. In a way, this is now our best battle because it's all about whether Fatal can hold within the 3 seconds to nick those 2 points, which would have made Carton King's decision to pit for the attempt at the fastest lap 4-1, but as you can see, he's already spreading that gap with 2 full laps to do it. After this one, as soon as Fatal, I was going to say as soon as he falls out of the 1 second, he just did, I would imagine Carton King is going to disappear. So he did what he could, did Fatal. He put up a strong defence and did his best, but in the end, barring any mistakes, I think the fresh sauce of Carton King are probably going to be too strong for him. I mean, they do go off very quick, the softs, but I don't think they go off that quick. But it's going to make a difference. We have a sector 3 yellow. No idea what's going on. Look at this. It's really. Sorry to JC that we haven't watched him a bit more throughout the race. I'm sure he knows it can be the way if you you know, if you end up leading the race by a substantial amount, that does, just like in real life, really, you do tend to not really get watched anymore. Carton King already 4.5 seconds up the road then from Fatal. But Fatal did his best, did what he could, and he held him back a little bit, but in the end, just the soft tyres too strong. Watching Carton King, see if he can set the fastest lap here. This would have been the attempt. And he's heading towards the line. I don't think he's quite going to do it. Oh yes, he does. 120.5. So in the end, Carton King's decision to pit to the soft tyres was absolutely correct. And he's gained himself and Red Bull, well, assuming nobody else beats it, on the final lap, then he's picked himself and Red Bull up an extra point. Good points all for Red Bull today. Just looking down, I don't, well, yeah, amazingly, Derek's now in AI. Why, Derek, why are you now in AI? Get out of AI. The difference is that Derek's been with us all race. He's not just Not as if he's been in AI all the way through like the others have. But sent an invite, but it looked to me like he was still there. Leonidas picks up 3 seconds. I hadn't actually realised that Leonidas has picked up 3 seconds. That means that Big Willie Fitz has got 4th. So massive congratulations to Big Willie on that one. Confirm it when they come over the line. But here is JC then, heading for the final corner. Provisionally, the winner of the Australian Grand Prix pretty comfortably. But as I said, there is definitely going to be an investigation for me as to what the outcome of that investigation is. We will have to see. The Gooner takes P2, 12.5 seconds behind after the penalty. Whoopi P3, Big Willie Fitz crosses the line at P4. Leonidas P5, Gaza will come across on P6. Tiny mistake from Gaza in the qualifying. But Daguna in the end finishing P2 and potentially with a potential for JC to pick up a penalty that may see him promoted to P1. I don't think he's going to be too bothered about the incident with Gaza in qualifying, but all in all, great race from Gaza as well to show the guys in HRF1 what they could do. Hunter P7, congratulations Hunter, really solid race. Carton King comes home in P8 with fastest lap, so a really good haul of points for Red Bull. And Fatal Defiance will cross the line in P9. I'm just thinking, we might have. I just realised that Derek might have been an AI when I sent him an invite. He might have been an AI because he was a lap down. So if there was a car that was a lap ahead anywhere near him, then he would have gone into ghosting, wouldn't he? So my apologies if I sent you an invite without one needed. I just noticed that you were ghosting, so I sent you one. As we see JC to come out, celebrate. He's putting it on for the fans to celebrate, but I think in his head he will know there's going to be potential that he may lose this victory. No problem, Whoopi. Absolutely fine, mate. I do enjoy doing it, and that was actually a really good race. It was a really, really good race. So, well, when you compare it to how Australia normally goes, just the one safety car and a VSC, really ain't that bad. It was a good race. We had some decent battles as well, and clean driving, which was nice. So, just to confirm then, on the final screen, so JC, victory on track, but will definitely be under a steward's inquiry. So the Gooner P2, but hoping to get promoted. Whoopi P3, Big Willie Fitz 4, Leonidas P5, Gaza 6, Hunter 7, Cutting King 8, Fatal Defiance P9, Derek P10. I'm going to end it there because Lando, Junkie Emperor, Lewis were all in AI for the whole race, so they won't be, well, I would hope they won't be classified. And we lost Smallos, Pete and Tempest from the race earlier on. So, obviously congratulations to our top 3. We'll see what happens with the inquiry, but congratulations to the top 3. And all the finishers, saying that. Australia, just finishing at Australia, it's its own achievement, if I'm quite honest with you. So congratulations to all the finishers. They've all picked up good points tonight. So, yeah. I'm not well, I don't know, see. I'm not a fan of it, Ruffy, I must admit. It's not my favourite track. But, and I can't say that the new layout's really made it any better for me, to be quite honest. In fact, I think, if anything, I probably preferred the way it was before with the chicane. But, yeah. But yeah, the rear end can be difficult around here. Bit of oversteer, whatever, you know. It's can be difficult. Anyway, guys, congratulations to our top 3 then. Oh, driver of the day. Oh dear. Hang on a second. I can still see on the stream. I can still see the standings on the stream because it's... Yeah, there's only one driver of the day for me. And my driver of the day this week goes to Big Willie Man himself, Big Willie Fitz, on his P4. Superb race. So well done, Big Willie. You get that one. Other than that, guys, thank you ever so much. Everybody that tunes in while we're live, really appreciated. Can I say again, thank you to Maytex for the subscription gift, buddy. That's very, very kind. And also a thank you to everybody that watches it back at a later point. It's all really appreciated. So thank you very much. As I say, we'll be back the same time next week. I'm just well, HRF1 is back tomorrow night. Unfortunately, it is this week that my Monday Night League starts, so I'm actually driving now on Mondays. I have no idea what track I'm driving, but I am driving. I'm just going to take a quick look, see if I can find the calendar, just to let you know where we are next week. There it is. So next week, okay, it's Imola next week. That's where I am on my team race. So we are at Imola. Does that mean it's going to be a sprint race next weekend? I don't know. I'll confirm that with the bosses. But thanks very much, guys. Good evening. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday nights. And go to bed, get an early night, and be up for work in the morning. That's what you want to do. Good night.